Hi, this is James of Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at the prototype Hyperstar run. This game is going to be published by Button Shy Games and designed by Scott Almes. This game here is a prototype, so remember things can be subject to change that I show you, like the art or the rules or whatever. But in essence, this will give you an idea of the game here. In this game, you're going to be playing the last level video game, trying to escape the Hyperstar base by the time you finish your 4th run. Let's go ahead down to the table here. I'm going to show you how to play this Hyperstar run, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Hyperstar Run. This is going to be a game developed by Scott Almes, one of my favorite designers here. And in this, you're going to be crashing onto your couch. You're going to grab a well-worn controller and load your latest save. This is it, the final level. With only 4 runs left to escape Hyperstar Space Base and beat the game, you better get moving. All right, the game's going to come with 15 cards here, which are going to be your level cards. You're also going to get 1 hero card, which will be this one right here. And you're going to get 2 equipment cards. Now you're going to set up the game by picking the difficulty level in the game. You're going to deal out 9 cards if you want it to be the tutorial game, 10 for a standard game, 11 for hard, and 12 for expert. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and deal out 9 cards. So this will be the tutorial game that we'll be able to show. All right. So once we've picked our difficulty and we have dealt out the cards here, we're going to deal 3 more cards to your hand, and we're going to return the rest of the cards out of the game, to the box or whatever, out of the game. All right, so now that we have that going, we have our hand set up, which is going to be those 3 cards, plus there's going to be these 2 equipment cards that I talked about earlier. That will also go into your hand. So put that aside here. Then we're going to take the hero card and we're going to place it with 1 pointing down here and flip over the first level here. All right, so we're going to leave a little space here for a discard pile right by our hand. I'm just going to place these out so it shows that how you play the game. It's going to be a little easier. And we're ready to go. So what we need to do is we need to, over the course of 4 different runs, attempt to pass each card in the level from left to right. If we can pass the final level card here, we're going to win the game. So what do we need to do? We need to do that by passing these levels. Now to pass these levels here, this is a multi-purpose card, so we'll just go over that real quick. There's a couple different things that happen. One is, this is if I had it in my hand, this is the button it's worth. This is the ability that I can use when the card and I'm on its level. And these are the 2 different boss monsters, and I can pick one of the 2 to fight. If I defeat the boss monster, I move on to the next card. There's also these combo lanes here, but we'll go over those in a second. So how can I defeat this boss right here? Well, this boss is going to require that I use these 2 different symbols. And this boss here is going to require that I use this symbol but twice. So if I look at my cards here, I can see my 1 equipment has this going. So I can go ahead and just spend that equipment, and then I can move forward to the next level. Now there are other ways that I can defeat this than just discarding a card to pay for beating a boss. Now if I discarded one of these and I didn't pay for both or use both of the symbols, I would lose that other symbol, just so you know. The other thing that I can do is I can press one of these levels that I passed down, and that level is going to give me this little symbol here to help defeat the boss. So this one would be this and a forward symbol. The other things that I can do before I defeat one of these bosses, I can play an ability here. So this one here says swap 2 cards in the level other than the one you're currently on. So when you swap cards, the state stays the same. So if this was pressed, when I swapped cards, that card would still be pressed, and that sort of thing. Now, one thing to keep in mind when we're doing this and we're using these abilities, how do we use these abilities? Well, I have to place one of my cards that I was going in my hand face down. Now I can't use this card to press buttons. But later on, if I have a face down card, I can use that by discarding it to pay to be able to use the ability. Now you're only ever allowed to have one face down card in your hand. If you want to fire an ability again, you must discard that face down card before you place another one face down. So that's one thing to remember. Now, so for this level right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spend this card, which gives me the double arrow and the shield here, and then I'll be able to move forward one because I've defeated this boss. Now I'm on to the new level. So now you know how I can trigger abilities, how I can beat these bosses. So I see that now I have 2 shields. That's not going to really help me too much here. I can press this one down to cover this shield, and I can discard this card to defeat that one so I can move forward. Now I'm on to this level. Now I'm getting into a little bit of trouble because now I only have 2 of the same symbols left in my hand. I could use the ability here. It says flip 1 face down card in this level. So that's not too bad. So I might want to do that if I think that I'm going to not pass this level. But I do have a shield here, and I can spend this card, so the shield and the crosshairs or whatever, to beat this one. So now I can move forward one more. I'm making it pretty good, pretty far in there. So now I have another one. I can press down this one, and I can discard this card, and now I move to this level. All right, well now I'm getting in trouble. This is probably it. Well, I could definitely press down these 2 to defeat this guy and move forward one more. All right, now I can't beat anything. Now, one of the things that isn't seeming to work out right now is you can do combos. And we're going to get into them in a second. I'm going to show you what happened. So we ended our run. So this is our first run. We're going to reset everything. All right. We're going to take the leftmost card and put it into my hand. So now I have one more card. We're going to take all the cards in this card pile and put it into my hand. And you can see how the tutorial is actually a pretty easy level to beat in this game. We're going to move this down and place it on a 2. And then we're going to start our run again. And we're going to do the same thing. We're basically trying to beat this last card. However, something's going to happen here where we can have, and I'm going to cheat here because I'm going to move stuff around, where we can have some combos. Okay? And what we can do with these combos, if these combos link up, we can spend the buttons on here to fast forward and move us forward even more. And it'll stop once we can't pay those. So if I paid these 2, I'd be able to see how the pipes line up. I'll be able to move all the way to here. And you can use this to your advantage at different points to be able to push you along a little faster to back to where you were before. So that's going to be combos. And for some clarifications here. So a combo ends if any of the following occurs. Your current level card does not connect to the combo line, which will, to the previous card, that'll end it. You do not pay the cost to continue. And, you use an ability during the combo. So as soon as you use an ability, that also drops you out. So that's a little clarification on that. Now you're going to keep on going for your until you get to your 4th run. So this will keep flipping and flipping until you get your 4th run. If you have not able to beat the final boss here, of whatever it is, by the end of your 4th run, you'll lose. Otherwise, you'll win the game. Now, some more clarifications in the game. When you swap cards, like I said before, the cards retain the face up, face down state. So they will keep their state of either face up and face down. A swap card inherits the press up or unpressed state of the card it's swapped with. So if this was pressed down and we swap these 2, this would remain pressed down, this would go up. So then the new card would enter in pressed. If an ability swaps out your current level card with another level card, you may use the ability of that current level card again, or that ability of the new card. So if something does something like this, we can use this ability if we wanted to also. There's also achievements that you can get in this game, and a challenge mode where you have to select an achievement in order to win the game. So you have the button masher, you have the well-equipped and speedrunner and combo pro. With button masher, you have to beat a tutorial difficulty game with 3 consecutive level cards with a cost of any. So the one thing I didn't mention, which is going to be very important, is if you see these little with the asterisks on here, you can use any button to pass those. Well equipped, you can beat a standard difficulty game with at least one equipment card remaining in your hand, and the equipment cards are these guys right here. You can do speedrunner, beat the hard difficulty game with no more than 3 runs. You can be combo pro, beat an expert difficulty game with 3 or more unpressed cards remaining in the level. So that's pretty cool too. And then the challenge mode, where you pick one of these achievements and do it. So one thing I also want to clarify, just to make sure we're clear on, is when you end a run, what you reset. So you're going to again flip any face down cards in your hand. So those will be flipped up. You're going to grab your discard pile and place them into your hand. And you will take the leftmost, and make sure those are all face up, and then you take the leftmost card in the run and put it in your hand. You're going to reset all the pressed cards by shifting them back up to their position. You'll move the hero card down, and then you're going to move it up 1 level from whatever it was. And you're ready to go, just to make sure that reset was clear. All right, so that's it. That's going to be how you play Hyperstar Run. Let's go ahead back up the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so that was Hyperstar Run. Now this game, card quality, this is a prototype, but card quality is going to be amazing. It's going to be like any of the other Button Shy games, just really good component quality for that. The gameplay itself is very engaging and a lot of fun. The more cards you add, the more difficulty it gets. I really like getting the harder difficulties on there, and if you can master them, which I have not yet, but if you can master them, you can also do those achievements, and you can do those challenge modes. So there's a ton of replayability in this little card game. I really can't wait until the final version of this comes out. I think this is going to be really one of my favorite solo games. I really don't actually play solo games though that much. I only play the Button Shy ones have actually gotten my attention, but I rarely ever play them in some of my larger games that you can see behind me. So if you're a casual solo player, or you're a solo player that likes the Button Shy solo line, which I do, I would highly recommend this game. I think you will love it. And that's my thoughts on Hyperstar Run. Thank you for watching.